There is nothing like freedom. And I say that with all certainty, with the surety of mind, after having spent close to 10 years of my life in prison, dealing with everything that came with that. I can say without a doubt that my absolute worst day in the world, being free, is I wouldn't trade it for not even 1 second of being incarcerated. And when I say that, I think about all the times that I could have responded or reacted in a way that would have been detrimental to my access into the free world as a felon. Had I responded in the way that would have taken me back down that road. It takes a lot of humility, a lot of patience, a lot of presence of mind, and just a strong will and a determination to just say, you know what? My freedom is worth more than this. I see a lot of young guys, and I was definitely one of those young guys, 17, 18, in the streets, literally throwing your life away, throwing rocks at the chain gang, throwing your life away day by day, and you have no idea. And as that verse says, my people perish for lack of knowledge, not understanding what you're really getting into. I mean, the full depth of it. Someone can say, okay, I know if I rob this store, if I rob this person, if I get caught, I'm going to go to prison. But to really understand what being incarcerated means for your life as a whole, for everything that you have going on, there's no way that any sort of amount of money would be worth giving up time in this world to just do what you want to do, even if that's nothing. And I'm not gonna say, hey, you gotta be, I do definitely stress grinding and hustling and stuff like that, legally of course, but hey, even if you want to just waste your life out in the world, that's so much better than wasting your life in prison, incarcerated. It does not compare. I think about many instances where things could have gone left or right just based on my own reaction, and I decided my freedom is worth more than this person's attitude. My freedom is worth more than this situation. I decided to take a step back, have some vision for my life, for my future. And I say, you know what? I don't want to have to get into a situation and say, man, I wish that I would have done this. I wish that I would have done that differently, because I've already been there. Luckily, I was able to go to prison, get out, go to prison and get out again. 2 felonies on my record. I know for a fact that the system, DOC, when they let me out the second time, they were like, hey, get this guy one more time and lock his ass away for good, or 20, 30 years, something like that. It'll be right back. But it was in there that I decided my freedom is worth more. Freedom is priceless. There is no price that could be put on me having the ability to come from my job where I just met with a client, come back home. I have an hour. I take this hour to record this video talking about my appreciation of the freedom that I have to do just this, and then go back to work, drive my car, leave my house, choose the food that I want to eat. if I want to have sex, if I want to smoke weed, if I want to do any of those things, the freedom to be able to do that is priceless. And it is just such a shame to see what we throw our freedom away for, what we value over our freedom. I'm telling you, it's like, it's just hella marketing that they've done. Marketing, and it's a whole bunch. I'm not going to get into it. My opinion on things that lead people to prison, but just scratching the surface. Just to make people believe that the accumulation of some wealth or the accumulation of some material things is worth chancing getting locked up for 20, 30 years, even 10 years, even 5 years, even 1 year, And the fact that so many don't make it, they get killed, or maybe, incarcerated, but also paralyzed. There's a lot of things that happen in the pursuit of something that is just not worth it, something that a lot of times we can attain if we have broader knowledge on how money works and how to utilize the capabilities that we have in order to get what we want, and also just being appreciative of what we have and understanding that, hey, we aren't going to be able to get everything. And not everyone is going to be a Elon Musk or a Bill Gates. We're not all going to live that life. We're not all going to be a Drake. A lot of us are just going to have to be content with a normal everyday life with no social media excitement, or not a lot of followers or subscribers or whatever. And we're just going to have to be okay with that. And I've learned that the appreciation of not only freedom, but everything, every little thing that I work for, every little thing that I gain, every little accomplishment is worth more than any illegal thing that I could have accomplished, because I can be proud of my efforts here. And it's sad, really, when I look at a lot of the young people that have given their lives to prison. And we're not even going to talk about the graveyard, but given their lives, or given huge chunks of their lives to prison. And I can only imagine, I was able to be released at 28. And even at that age, I'm not going to lie, I knew that I didn't want to stay in prison for the rest of my life. I didn't want to make this a career. But I didn't know any real strengths or talents, capabilities I had, anything that I didn't have an idea of what I could do. But I did know that I wanted to appreciate being free, and I wanted to stay free. I didn't want to be incarcerated anymore. And, sometimes I think, like, I see a kid, 18, 19, get arrested for murder, get slammed with a life sentence. And I'm like, man, this kid's 18 now. You see his mugshot, and he might be smiling or smirking like he doesn't care. But you think about that person when they're 35, when they're 45, when they look back and they say, damn, I literally lived my entire life in prison. I've been in prison longer than I've been out on the street. And I have nothing. I have nothing. I've done nothing. My life is nothing. And that's really sad. And it really, things like that, every time I see something that happens to one of these young people, I'm like, damn, I'm so grateful that I was able to change courses, have a awakening of my mind, an enlightenment, an epiphany, if you want to call it that. even though it wasn't an epiphany, it was just day after day of really just deciding that I didn't want to be in prison anymore. And I think that was the basis, that was the foundation of every decision I made. I said, well, it's either I can try my hand at this, or I can just accept the fact that I gotta ride the bus for a little longer. I have to walk instead of drive. I have to shop at Ross or Marshall's instead of, wherever else. But my freedom, the freedom to appreciate all of those things, to have to make that decision, to have to humble myself in and of itself is priceless. Because in there, when you're in there, you don't have a choice. You get what they give you. And if you don't want that, well, too bad. There's no other option. And a ninja needs some options. I need these options. I need this freedom. I need this future. Okay, I don't need promises. I don't need hope or ideas that are unrealistic. Patience. I never forget, patience is a virtue. But for some reason, Juvenile, the rapper, he had a song where he said, don't move too fast. Remember, patience is a virtue. And it's always, for some reason, that line, I love the song, but that line, I've never forgot it. And in key moments in my life, that line will pop up in my head. And I'm like, okay, let me just be patient. Let me wait. I'm just going to see what happens. And if nothing happens, hey, you know what? I still have the freedom to try and make something else happen. Because when I don't have freedom, then I can't make anything happen. Because ain't nothing happening behind those prison walls. Just wanted to drop that thought. Freedom really is priceless. I appreciate every day. People ask me how I keep such a positive demeanor, mindset, why I never really seem stressed out or mad. Because I know where I've been. I have been where there is no freedom. And I will not ever go back there. As much as I can control it, as much control as I have over that, that's never going to happen. I will never give up this beautiful freedom. Ever, ever, ever again.